For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ian.
Yay!
Take the noise down. Bride. Well,
Lovely bride.
Will and Steph, where do I start? Well, I think we start with saying congratulations to the new Mr. and Mrs. Bevan. Today has been entitled Will and Steph's Most Excellent Adventure. But for Stephanie, adventures are nothing new and have been part of growing up. So much so that in the Christie household, Mummy's adventures are somewhat notorious. More so actually, that she's Mummy's adventures that have gone horribly wrong. Again. Yeah. 12 years ago in France, the Christie family went on a 2-day kayaking trip down the Ardèche River, and you can see the intrepid crew here on my right. We paddled through rapids in a 90-degree heat. We went under the Vallon d'Arc. We did the Macarena on top of the kayak. And we found that an area on the map wasn't actually a naturism, but more a naturist reserve. So, oops, we had to look right. And also, we tried to avoid the crazy French who decided to dive beneath the kayaks, trying to get any goodies that might have fallen out. I'm sure it was fairly tame compared to some of the kayaking that some of you guys do, but it was fun nevertheless. At the end of day one, we came to the local campsite. Here's the pic. No, next one. Here's the pic, and you can see Steph down there on the ground after a hard day's paddling down the Ardèche. And when we got there, the warden warned us to keep our food in the barrels, as there were wild boar in the area. But even so, Stephanie and David decided to sleep outside. At about 1 a.m, we heard a scream, a rumble, and lots of squealing. Stephanie, in the tent now! Why? Pigs! Someone had seen the wild boar, screamed, scared the wild boar, who knocked over a barrel, it tumbled down the hill, and then scattered the rest of the wild boar, squealing all the way to the tent. And so Stephanie eventually got into the tent. An hour or so later, we heard the sound of Stephanie throwing up. With Stephanie's vivid imagination, she'd scared herself sick and found herself sat upright bolt, like in a trance in the tent. Breathe slowly, she said. They can smell me. And then she quickly threw up everything. Here's the night. When we got home, Stephanie promised, I'm leaving home before Mummy's next adventure. Well, today, that promise has finally come true. But not only that, in fact, here tonight, flown in specially from France, we have, Stephanie, your own wild boar. And it's a memory of adventures past and something to take forward with you for adventures in the future. Now, no. Stephanie needs to hold it. You need to conquer the fears. As many of you know, Stephanie, how can I say, can be a little dramatic at times. And she even has the t-shirt to prove it. Stephanie is excited by life, and when she's around, the volume level goes up somewhat. It certainly gets quieter when she leaves the room. A few years ago, when Bev was preparing for yet another one of Mummy's adventures, Stephanie came rushing in from the garden, all dramatic. "Mum, Mum, I can't get the lid off the sandpit." "Stephanie, you have a whole garden full of toys. Go and play with something else." "But Mum, I can't get the lid off the sandpit." "Stephanie, who put the lid on the sandpit? I don't think it had been on there for weeks." "But Mum, I can't get the lid off the sandpit." "Stephanie, can't you see that I'm busy? If you must play in the sandpit, then you'll have to sort it out yourself." "But Mum!" "Stephanie!" "But Mum, Rachel's inside it." I think that qualifies as another Christy penalty play. 3 years ago, Will joined us on one of Mummy's adventures as we canoed, yes, canoed, not kayaked, from Fort William to Inverness, 60 miles along the Caledonian Canal and Loch Ness. Fortunately for Will, it was well within his comfort zone. And on this occasion, we didn't need to enlist the help of dive squads or mountain rescue teams that we'd heard had happened on some of his other. Maybe we're just lucky. We just about made it. Although she'll strenuously deny it, Stephanie is a clone of her mother. She had the same first job, teaching physics, at the same school in Hillingdon, and that was totally independent. She didn't know that her mother had gone to the same school. They have the same have-a-go attitude, and even they take the same photos on holiday. Cute? So for these ones, you can see the ones that Stephanie took were in America last year at the Kennedy Space Centre, and down, where was the crocodile?
Everglades.
Everglades. And the same is true of her mother, some, ooh, what's that? 24? I can't do it. Many years ago. And the similarities were becoming so spooky recently that Will recently remarked, "You're one and the same person."
Naughty, naughty.
But today it's different. When Bev and I got married, Bev moved from a B to a C, going down, well I say going down in marks terms for the teachers around, from a bait to a Christie. Whereas Stephanie has now reversed the trend, going up from a C to a B as a Bevan. But it is good actually to note that you haven't actually totally left your Christie roots behind altogether, as somehow you've cleverly managed to incorporate both the first names of your parents in your new surname. Hannah, Rachel, the bar's been set. And so finally, on behalf of Phil, Caroline, Bev and myself, I would like to thank everyone here, friends and family, for being part of Will and Steph's adventure today. And I ask you to be upstanding as I propose a toast to the bride and groom. Will and Steph!